Hey folks, listen, welcome to this Go for Diamond webinar this evening. Tammy and I wonder what my screen changes all the time like this. Someone does something and I don't know what it is. Speaker view, here we go. Okay, so this evening it's an important topic, folks, and it's the basic foundation of what we call the success cycle, which is inviting. And I thought we could start by sharing the training component, which by the way, you can find on the Success Cycle series. For example, you can actually find it if you go to activeteam.com, you select videos, and from there, just scroll down to Success Cycle series, and you just scroll down through the videos, you'll see them. The other options, you can go to activeteamtraining.com, and that will take you to the main Active Team page. Now, there's several playlists, and you'll find one that says Success Cycle series. Well, from there, I think at this point, at this time, everybody's familiar with YouTube and playlists, and if not, just leave me a quick comment here and we'll make sure that you get properly oriented on how to access that. There's many ways to access the training. So what we're going to be sharing tonight has been recorded, but that was a recording that we did about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months ago. And if this evening we'll be doing is we'll be also interacting. But I find that it's important to always go through the basics first, and then we can move on into the practical aspect of doing things. Tammy, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I'm really excited about tonight's session because, September is the month where a lot more people are more relaxed. Summer's closing up and lots of good things are coming up. And with the new presentations of the core leaders that Chris is going to be sharing with you, with all these new presentations that are coming up, we'll have more platforms to be able to invite people to look at a presentation. We don't have to count on one where every single Thursday there'll be more presentations available for you guys to really build this. So that's why we wanted to focus tonight on the invite and how to get people engaged in wanting to come to a presentation, whether depends on what presentation you want people to have a look at. There's always one-on-one, like we'll go through that with the training for sure.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to underline what Tammy was talking about. We recommend that you also take the lead in doing these things. We encourage the team leaders to start. And again, you don't have to be a leader. What I mean a leader is someone happens to be a gold and a platinum and diamonds and so forth, but you could be a leader as a bronze and you can be a leader as a senior associate. And we recommend to initiate your own sessions. Many of you have your Zoom account and you don't really take advantage of it and you plug into ours. We want you to start duplicating what we do, replicating what we do. And as Tammy stated, at 8 o'clock, we have our presentations every week on Thursday that goes for 30 minutes. And now Bill and Linda have booked theirs, which is going to be on Tuesdays. I don't have all the time. I think it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we have let's see here. I'm overlooking. There's Tammy and I at 8 o'clock on Thursdays.
Jasmine on Wednesdays, starting September.
Yes, Jasmine's going to start also, and Jasmine will also have some partners that she's going to be sharing with them. And I'd love to have many more of you to take. See, the key here is to have many platforms and for you to start doing your own presentation and not be a shadow of what Chris and Tammy do, on a regular basis, but you become that leader that your downline will follow. Because I'm telling you, something that was explained to me or said to me years and years ago when I was afraid. I'm not saying you are, I'm just talking from my point of view. I was afraid of going in front of an audience and speak and share the opportunity. And they say, Chris, when you go in front and you start presenting, that's when the people in the audience will be people from your organization. And that person was right. In fact, I think it was out of Ottawa, and I think it was a policeman. I forgot his name, but he made an impact. And the same thing is, but right now it's virtual. Okay. Now, a step behind that, what we need to do is we need to invite, because if you do your presentations and you promote your events, that's wonderful. But if nobody knows you exist and you don't promote your events, obviously nobody's going to show up, right? People have to know you exist. People have to know you are presenting, and it's okay to have 1, 2, 3, 0 people showing up. Still go through the motion of presenting. So you get into the, go through the experience of sharing the information online. So don't be intimidated by the fact that nobody's there or 3 people's there, I'm telling you. And it's not about having a massive amount of people there. It's about having people interested that could actually contribute to your business, right? I'd rather have 3 people there and have 1 or 2 sign up than have 150 people there and no signups, if you understand what I mean, right? So it's not necessarily the quantity, but the quality, and that's what's important. So now this evening, we're going to be going into the aspect of inviting. So I'm going to go share my screen right now. And also I want to recognize my wife, because back in 2014, I remember I did a lot of these trainings, spent a lot of time doing this, and they were getting a little rusty and old. And Tammy kind of revamped all of these, and she kind of put a lot of time in looking for images, rewording things to be a bit more compatible to the times of today. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn this over to you so you can start, sharing the first few words as we go through the slides.
For sure. So as Chris said, the presentations are available for you. So take these PowerPoints as well and learn them in the process of, so you can teach your people. So to get started, the key is we need to understand the system and the process of the inviting. So obviously at the beginning, you want to make sure you've got your contact list growing and keep adding to that list. And then the next step is obviously building relationship, which is the prospecting process. And this is when you really get great, as Jasmine did such a great job on active listening, asking questions, and to be really good at the active listening portion of it, because as you listen, you get clues on how to invite people to the next step. So number 2 is the invitation process, and number 3 would be the follow-up process leading up to the third-party validation, and that's when people make a decision. It's either yes, no, not now, and at the end of the day, you just keep them on the list so you can continually follow up. When you build good relationships, people tend to want to go through the process. So it's all about building the trust with every single person you meet. You don't want to shove a business down people's throat. You want to build relationships with people that you can build a long-term friendship.
I agree, Tammy, 100%. And the fact here is you want to create a people magnet mindset. And see what's happening often. And I think this is what I'm recognizing today, especially the North American market, is people tend to put so much pressure on themselves, and they panic on what if they don't like the network marketing, or what if they don't want to be friends with me or like me, or they laugh at me. And at the end of the day, folks, there's ways to communicate that none of this stuff would ever happen. It's just like when you get experience in doing the prospecting aspect to invite people to look at information, it is truly the same way that you've done your entire life. Most of you here are mature adults. So you've invited people to, well, in the past, movies, right? Movie theaters. Now, where you might be referring people to go to watch some Netflix or Prime, whatever, Amazon Prime, whatever is out there. And you refer people to a book, right? You refer people to a restaurant. You've done that your entire life. You refer people to a course or to a brand or to a salesperson, or it's just, that's the way you want to communicate with your prospect. And you don't want to masquerade yourself into this different person, because now you're network marketing, and because you may feel a bit of a stigma because of the industry, you change who you are, and then your approach is not you. You're someone different. And often this is the reason why there's this awkward kind of moment when you try to invite people to look at information like this. So the fact is, remain who you are, and get comfortable with the information on the product, the information on the industry itself, especially today with the environment that we live in and what people have been forced to kind of adapt to. There's so many different areas now that you can talk about as benefits to talk about what we do. And it's not just about the product, it's not just about the money, but it's a balance between the two. So you want to create kind of a mindset that is attractive by creating value.
So the big question is, how do you invite? How do you connect with people to invite them to have a look at the opportunity? And like Chris said, it's like having a normal conversation, like you would do in a job, or in a sales job, or in a career where you own your own business. You're connecting with people, you're creating value for them. They're curious based on some stuff that you might be sharing, and then when you ask them a question, they generally say, sure, yeah, sure. So we're going to show you some questions that you can ask, how you can connect with them once you've got that foundation of connection ready in the process.
You go ahead, Tammy. You carry on.
Keep it simple. I think a lot of people overthink everything, and they actually talk themselves out of doing this business. And again, like Chris said, people, they all of a sudden they join network marketing and they become strange. Just be human. Just connect like you would normally connect with somebody, when you're sitting on a bench in a park. You just have normal conversation. People say, well, I don't know what to say. Well, talk about the weather. Talk about maybe a piece of clothing that somebody's wearing that you really like the color, or something. Just strike up a conversation that will lead into deeper conversations. So don't make this difficult, because it's such a simple process. Just go out and practice, just smiling at people, complimenting them, and strike up a conversation. It doesn't even have to be about max. If that is a big issue for you, connecting and doing the prospecting process, just get good at building friendship, and then you can move from there. So you want to go ahead, Chris, with this one? You want me to go?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll take over from here, and we'll go back and forth. And again, folks, what Tammy and I are doing here is we're kind of revising this training. And again, I wanted to remind you, if you just kind of stepped in here, that these trainings are available on the Success Cycle series that you can access from the Active Team group page, or from the Active Team training domain, which will point you to the YouTube channel. And there's a playlist that we created called the Success Cycle. That's where Active Team is actually pointing to. So the rules of inviting is, don't get attached to the outcome. And this is something that I cannot stress enough. Even though I'm telling you this, we are human beings, and we get attached to the outcome. We get attached to the emotion. We get attached to people's maybe behavior around maybe some information that they may not relate to. And folks, again, don't get attached to the outcome. Always look at yourself as a messenger. You are the messenger. You're not the message. And if you deliver the information in a format as a messenger, it takes all the pressure away. And it also gets the prospect more comfortable that if they say no, or they say yes, or they want more information, well, regardless of the outcome, it is not you. You're simply passing along the information. And if they're not interested, it's like going in a store and walking right by products that you're not interested in buying, because you're not looking for that at the moment. But I assure you, many people are looking for immune system supplements. And often some are looking, well, if I can refer it and get paid for it, yes, I'm interested. And that's what you're looking for. So don't get attached to the outcome, and be your best self. In other words, don't try to change who you are. Be who you are, and use your own language, your own vocabulary. You don't need to make things fancy. I'm telling you, I do not worry about that. I do not worry. I have skills in certain aspect in my life, and some other aspect, my skills are not so strong. I don't worry about it. I'm still a crown diamond. I don't have an English degree. In fact, it's like a mix of English and French. But at the end of the day, I manage with what I've got. But I'm passionate about what I do. That has made a difference. So be yourself and share your enthusiasm. This is important. Every time, Tammy and I had a prospect a few days ago, a lady that came in that we met while we were walking on the pathway in Etobicoke. It's a section called Mimco, and it's a really nice area to walk. And that was her third visit, right, Tammy? And she came in,
Yeah.
and she turned around and she looked at the both of us and says, God, you're so passionate about this. I really want to use it now. I really, and that is truly, you remember, Tammy, what she said? And this is because not the verbiage in the language, but it was my enthusiasm around my belief on how I know this can help her, and not only in the same time could create a great residual income for her, because it's something that people need. You just need to point in the right direction for them to look at the information, right? So you want to be strong and confident, but not bold in the sense that overbearing, if you understand what I mean, right? You don't want to overwhelm them with your strength and confidence, but you want to be confident in your belief. You want to be confident in what we are presenting. So if they come in with some objections or even naysay things, negative things, it's okay. And in fact, go along with the objections. And these goes into the following up prospect, but go along with the objections and simply get to understand where they are and why they feel that way, and share your opinion as to why you feel that way. That's what I mean by being strong and confident. That is the key to success in inviting people to look at this. Because that you're not American or not, people get sick here too, right? People are dealing with money issues here too. It's all over the world. And if there's a way to satisfy that, I assure you that there will be some interest there, right? So invite everyone, don't prejudge. Don't think that because this person is a CEO or this person is an executive or this person makes a lot of money, you don't know the real story behind what's going on in their lives. You just don't know. They may need supplements to really help them deal with the challenges that they're facing that you may not be aware of, despite that they're super successful, right? So invite everyone and do not prejudge. I cannot stress enough on that. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah. And remember, it has to be their timing, not yours. We always get so excited and want something to happen right away. And then if it doesn't, there's disappointment. Don't get attached to that. Just keep moving, keep inviting. They'll come around. Sometimes incidents happen where, for example, that lady that Chris was talking about, she was coming here to sign up on Saturday. She was super excited. She left me a message first thing Saturday morning. Something came up. She's from Brazil. Her son is in a hospital on, I believe he got COVID, and he's really sick. So her focus is on her son right now, so you just keep moving and things come around when the timing's right for them. So don't get attached. We can't stress that enough. So inviting scripts. These were some of the things that Antern will put together for the Nigerian group, but I mean, these are all perfect in any market. So, you could say something as you're starting conversation, people may ask you what you do. You just started working with a US-based company. They have a product everyone needs and people are making money. They're very direct, I find, in some markets more than others, but it has to be something that you feel comfortable saying, okay? So you can say, I'm sure you would know someone who would need the product or someone who's looking to make money. That's a given. That is so easy to talk about. If you're open, I'll send you a couple videos, you can check it out. In our case, we have the maxlook.info. So you have 2 short videos on that. So you would use www.max.info, www.maxlook.info. Okay, and then I like to get people's cell numbers. Some people won't give you their cell and they'll only give you their email. Has anybody experienced that before, where they're not comfortable? Well, that's because the relationship hasn't been built yet. And some people are not comfortable giving their cell phones. But here's what I say to people like that when that happens, is I say, I can totally understand. I'm not interested in harassing people or, you know, if there's no interest at all, that's totally fine. And I just wanted to make sure that I'm able to text you to let you know that I sent you the email, because often things go into spam and they agree, and then they'll give you their number. So it's to build that rapport. They need to know that you're not there harassing them. And some people are, you know, they're like that because they've probably had that happen to them before and they weren't comfortable with it, right? And so you can connect with them through text, email, WhatsApp. So the key is to get some sort of information so that you can send them the videos. So when can I talk to you next? So that's really, really important, because you want to make sure you have a follow-up process while you're sending them the info. Don't wait. So many people wait and then they're chasing their prospects. And I'm sure many of you had also this challenge. I know we've had it in the past, and then we realize that if we create a flow in the sending them the information, setting up the appointment, because they're going to have questions. And that's what I tell them. You're going to have questions. And then I set up a time to connect.
You continue, Tammy. You're in a good flow here. Take this.
Yeah. So the key is to include US-based company is always good, fast-growing product. Don't say supplement, because the moment you say supplement, then people are thinking, I either don't take supplements, there's no value around supplement right now, or I got so many already in my cabinet that then they kind of close off. So do not say the word supplement, say product. And people are making money with this company. If you're comfortable to say that, I'm comfortable with saying that. So you got to feel really positive and passionate and comfortable in your communication. And you don't need to mention Max International, product, network marketing. You don't have to say any of this stuff. Okay, so just talk about, you know, company looking for people who are looking to create another stream of income. They brought a breakthrough product. You can say a breakthrough technology, and so use what you're comfortable with, but write down these key points. Write down key points, because when you tend to talk to people, often when you're new, you get stuck. And you don't want to have that So if you have some key points down, that's good. And you're sure that they know somebody that's going to want to have a look at this. You're sure.
So the next step, which is important here, is you want to always create an environment that you can follow through and follow up. So there's no awkward kind of ending on, you know, okay, what do I do next? What should I tell them next? When do I get back to them? So I like to have a flow that is easy and comfortable to call someone back and to follow up from where you left off on the first conversation or the second conversation. So in your process in the inviting is, once you've done the invitation and you share them the link that Tammy's referenced earlier called the maxlook.info, where really all it does, it points to two videos. It points to the opportunity video that Max created a few months back, and also the science video that Max created. That's it. This is more than enough to pique someone's curiosity. If this doesn't do it, move on. Don't get attached to the outcome. So if I send you this text or this link or this video or whatever it is that you feel is the step that you tell them you would do for them, would you have an opportunity to look at it today? Okay. So the key here is you always want to give them a flow. If I invite you to a virtual information session, would you attend? This is the reason why we're starting to create live, But also something I'd like to mention is I encourage all the presenters to record their presentation so they can send a reference of that live presentation. It's not live, but it was live when it was conducted, maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago or a month ago, if that's your favorite one, right? And so that is, or another aspect, if I send you 2 short video, would you watch them? And then how would you like to receive an invitation or video link? Like Tammy used that example earlier because it's part of our verbiage. It's just natural. You don't even have to think about it. Do you want this by text, email, WhatsApp, or Messenger? I mean, Facebook Messenger, because Messenger, there's also the Microsoft version of it. But the point here is, what mean of communication do they want? And be clear. Because honestly, sometimes people come to me and say, Chris, I sent you a message. Okay, was it WhatsApp? Was it an email? Was it Facebook message? What was it? And sometimes I get lost on messages. In fact, it's interesting where sometimes the last thing I'm going to look at is text. I often skip text. I don't even look at my text anymore because now I receive everything on WhatsApp and Facebook and of course, Messenger and email. But anyway, so be specific on the next step. The one thing that I cannot stress enough is clarity. Clarity. Go ahead, Tammy, you take this one.
I just want to expand on that for the last slide is.
You want me to go back?
Yeah, go back to it because I had a thought there and I might have lost my thought. Oh, don't you hate when that's a long day? But you want to make sure that yeah, keep going, Chris, because I lost my.
He'll come back. Just stop me and he'll go back.
Exactly. So
go ahead.
So the key is to send people the maxlook.info because that's what we're doing here in North America, building in North America. So if those of you are listening to Facebook Live and you have contacts in Canada, US, this is the platform that we're using, the system that we're using because it's simple, it's short videos, it piques people's curiosity. Go watch it yourself so you know what you send people. Don't just randomly send people stuff and you don't know what you're sending them. You got to know what you're sending people. Okay, so make sure you have that. And I also like to send the disease associated with low glutathione sheet as well, because it just adds a level of value, credibility. And people often look at the sheet and go, oh my God, I got this. Oh my God, I got that. Oh my God, I got that. And you know, all this is associated with low glutathione. So you're creating already for them to want to at least try the products, right? So everything is available for you on the Active Team site. So you can go back and look at that if you need to reference any of that. And Chris, you pulled the slides. I don't know if
no, it's okay. In fact, what I was trying to do here is I just wanted to show people the example of what you were talking about. So just bear with me here and I'll go back to my options to be able to share that screen. Okay, here we go. It's going to be, I think that should be fine. It's kind of a little strange right now. What do people see right now?
Wait.
Okay. I have multiple screens and I'm trying to figure this out and it's not being user friendly to me here. I want to show you something that's important because many of you are not aware of this. Let me just shift that over and let me just share this screen. Okay. And here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share that screen right now. I'm going to just go and share screen number 2. Here we go. Okay, so you see this here, this is a very, very powerful piece of information that you can send to a prospect, especially the folks that might be a bit more technical, that may be more interested in the science and the products. And I mean, everything is here. The fact sheets are here. We talked about this at one point, the research, right? And all the details, the importance of glutathione. So these are all bits and pieces of information that you can also use. So I would also suggest, Tammy, to probably share the, let me just go back to that screen here. Okay, let me just go full screen here. There we go. So I think that there's a lot of value on this, and we should probably add over here also. Well, you basically have the disease, so we look on PDF, and I suggest that we add that segment. So for those of you that are wondering, just one, okay, it's ribocystine.com, ribocystine.com.
We'll add that to the PowerPoint. As a matter of fact, I'm not into the deep science of the products. I know they work. We're on the products and I'll never get off of them. Yeah. But often you talk to people and there's something deeper that they need. So we have that platform to share that with them. And as a matter of fact, I shared it twice today with two people.
And the other thing I wanted to mention for the viewers here that are new doing your own presentations, once we have a firm detail of all the presenters that are going on, and I have a physical date, not date, but date and time, because the date is reoccurring, then we'll start promoting this everywhere to help you promote your own events. Right now, we're just getting started. So that's why here you see the 8 o'clock MVP, which is Max Virtual Presentation Opportunity Presentation. We should probably remove the presentation there because it's repeated. But the point here is everything is, as we keep moving forward and we keep adapting to the virtual reality of where we are, it's really going to help you to utilize all these different presentations. And you'll also have access to it when you go to the active team calendar. So if I go on, let me just create another here. So let me just go active, typing it is not one of my forte. Active team webinar, not webinar, calendar, sorry, active team calendar. Calendar.com. Did I spell that right? There we go. Okay, so they're all here. Okay, so you can choose, for example, I'd like to look weekly, right? And you can see them here. Okay, so this is our Go for Diamond webinar that is over here. That's the presentation that's taking place by Bill and Linda. And we have the presentation here hosted by Lucy. And this is the one on Thursday evening. And as we keep moving forward, you will have more and more and more of these events that you can choose from, right? And if you happen to be the person that is actually presenting and it's your own guest, well, simply send your own link because you're the host. So it elevates your credibility as a presenter and as an associate with the company instead of using someone else's, which you're also welcome to do, okay? So obviously over here, we have the active team group where a lot of information is over here to train associates and to get in, to get the data, the PowerPoints, resources, this particular training, everything is available for you to download. So why we use tools, and this is really important. See, the people that are successful in this business, they're very good at pointing. Go here, check that, do this. Go over there. And this is how I've always built my business. I love to leverage. I don't want to be the message, because when you become the message, you are often may not be duplicatable. And that could be the reason why your business has not grown, because you are not duplicatable. What you do is unique based on your personality, your style, your skills, whatever it is that you might do. But when you use the tool, it makes it more comfortable because someone else can do that. It's also more time efficient. Instead of spending 2.5 hours sharing an opportunity to someone, you spend 30 minutes. Well, let me rephrase that. You spend a second to send them the information. They spend 30 minutes looking at the information and allow multiple views, right? Multiple different aspects. It could be a live virtual, it could be a video they see, it could be whatever information you send them. So again, this is the reason why tools are so powerful, right? It gives you the time freedom. And this is my point, is some people do this business and they spend so much time and resources with one person that by the time you're done, you are exhausted.
And they may not even join.
And they may not be interested. They may not have the resources or whatever, but you spent everything you had to share, right? That's why many of the millennials, young networkers that are millionaires in this business, they don't spend 2 minutes. Now, there's a negative to that too in the relationship aspect, because they will after. But the initial aspect, when they first connect with them, they are very quick in pointing at information because it gives them the time freedom. It's easy to duplicate. It also adds credibility because you always have the same message delivered by content that was properly prepared, maybe by you or someone else, that has a sequence that makes sense. And that's how you grow an organization that is a productive, well-oiled machine, if you understand what I mean by this. Where if you're always in front with your wonderful communication skills and everything you do perfectly, that the majority of us cannot do, we can relate to it, it's just not going to happen, right? So use the tools. That will simplify your life, and don't always be the message, but really convert to become a messenger. You'll find you spend a lot less time and you may get a lot more results because you're spending more time talking to more people and spending less time kind of defining and explaining and justifying and everything else. Go ahead, Tammy.
So there's many ways of presenting and connecting with your business to do the invites. So as you all know how to do it. So this is just an example. I mean, now I think one-on-one is a little bit less and less that you'll see. People are, more cautious when they're meeting up with people. I've seen smaller groups get together, and it's always great. I have to admit, the connection is so much easier. The Zoom platform is the next best thing because you're seeing each other. You can read each other's body language a little bit more than when you're just texting or calling somebody. So try the best you can to connect with people through a visual platform. And I know Messenger as well is a platform. I know in the Philippines, they use Messenger a lot with the video. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. So, I mean, there's many different social media apps, and I know that many of you have started using this, and Facebook Live as we speak right now. As usual, I forgot to press recording, but here's the good news. It's on Facebook Live. I figured out how to actually copy the Facebook Live and bring the file so I can upload it on YouTube later, right? So Facebook is a powerful, powerful tool. Instagram, I have to admit, I don't use it often, but it's a very powerful tool. Whenever I post something on Instagram, I get so much more activity than I get on Facebook, right? LinkedIn, just today, I posted a comment on a book I just finished this morning called The Alchemist. Phenomenal book, great book that really helps you actually understand your own world and your own life through the story of that young boy that actually was doing the travel and went all over to find his dream, only to realize that what he was looking for what is his doorstep. And Tammy, I'm not spoiling it for you here.
I'm not finished yet.
So the fact is, I posted that on LinkedIn. And many of you have seen other books that I'm reading that has great quotes and comments from John C. Maxwell. I forgot the title right now, but I do have a paper memory. I just have to have it in front of me. But it's phenomenal, right? TikTok. I have to admit that often I have to discipline myself not to spend more than 10 to a minute to 2 minutes on TikTok, because man, you can get on this thing and you just scroll this, a half hour went by. Just to give you an idea how powerful these social media are, they capture your interest. Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, it's something we use all the time. Clubhouse is something that Tammy and I keep talking about. And I keep procrastinating because, but we have to adjust a few things because it's another thing that we need to work on. But Clubhouse, very, very powerful. There's background noise here somewhere. I'm not sure.
I got it, Chris.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah,
so, and then there's WhatsApp, which obviously everybody knows about. So these social medias, folks, just if you're not used to use them, don't use that as an excuse not to get on them. It's like, oh, you know what? I didn't grow up with a cell phone. I'm not going to use a cell phone. No, it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't even have a phone line. I haven't had a phone line forever because I don't need it. It's just a useless tool. So I've adapted to everything is on a cell phone. I'm in Florida. I don't have to forward things around. Everybody knows my number with my cell phone. And wherever I am, people have the same number, right? So adjust to these tools because I'm telling you, they are part of our society and they are part of communicating. And it's important that you adjust and not just send back, well, I never use it. I'm not interested. It's up to you. It's your choice. But this is how the world communicates. And if you want to be in front of an environment where the world seems to be passing by, well, you want to adjust to these things.
You know what's interesting, Chris? You know, a lot of people will say, I don't know what to post. Anybody have problems with that? You don't do it because you're not sure what to post on social media, not comfortable. And you know, some of the biggest trainers that I've been on their teachings, like Fraser Brooks, for a perfect example, and Tony Robbins will say that too, and just some of the big gurus, they said, be a great copycat. Find out what other people are doing on social media, and you'll get some ideas of what they're up to, even the subject of what they're up to. And you can even copy somebody's sentence, but add your own point to it and start using this and get comfortable doing stuff. Eventually, you become better at it. So don't make excuses not to do something. Like Chris said, you know, with a book, you're going to connect with somebody who's read that book. There's always going to be somebody that you're going to connect to, or they'll say, oh, I haven't read that book before. Is it any good? What a great way to make a connection on Messenger after you have this. The goal on social media is to get them off the platform to build a relationship as quick as possible. Because often you can waste a lot of time going back and forth, chat, that may not go anywhere. You get them off the platform, just say, hey, you know, let's have a coffee Zoom chat someday. I'd like to get to know you better. Maybe we can benefit each other in business or something. Depends on what you've seen them do and what you're doing. And that's how you build relationships, is pull them off the platforms and build some rapport, get to know each other.
I totally agree. And one thing, folks, that one of the reasons why I like the Kindle, now I just happen to have the app Kindle on the Apple iPad mini here, but you know, one of the things I like about it is if you like something, and I shared this before, if I like something, it was John C. Maxwell, 25 ways to win with people, right? This is the one, I'm at 35%, and The Alchemist, I just finished it, right? And what it is when you actually see something, you select the quote that you like, and you can share it on Facebook, right? And many of you might be readers, and you're looking for content to post, and you see something you really like that you relate to. You know what? There might be thousands of people that may relate to your comment that may attract attention towards you, and you can share it. So that's why I like to buy electronic books now, right? And for that reason, I even actually bought our own. I went ahead and I bought our own book on Amazon. This one here, you guys might be filming, you might know these people, right? The Freedom Formula. And the fact here is that it's really, really useful because, again, it goes back to sometime I said, okay, what can I post today? Well, if I read something that makes sense, that is relevant to me, that I believe other can benefit from, well, I'm going to post that, right? So not everybody wants to post funny things and whatever. So be creative in your way. And for me, what I do is I just I see what can I use to complement utilizing social media to invite people to look at what we have to offer. So what's important here that you need to understand that, and this is the way of the future here, folks, is the richest people in the world look for and build networks, right? Everyone else, they look for jobs. And this is something that was actually quoted by a mentor that Tammy and I have hired by the name of Ugo out of Nigeria, a powerful millionaire in this industry, in his business. And he actually, remember, Tammy, he actually quoted this exact same quote right there, right? So it's important that you understand that increasing your network will increase your net worth. And this is what's important. It's not about trying to sell everybody you come across. It's about connecting with people and adding to your network that are interested or not in what you have. It's okay, but add them to your network, invite them to your Facebook groups and Facebook page and whatever it is, LinkedIn, if this is what you use. I know Paul used that a lot, right? Connect with people. And believe me, the new professionals are becoming very, very successful through the environment of building network. And if you want to have a strong network, is to build relationship with the people within your network. That's how they stay with you. You know, when people leave, they don't leave the company, they leave you. And this is a hard reality in this business. I'm telling you. So take the time to build a relationship with your personals and maybe some of your personals downline, but I try to also be very respectful not to overstep. So the fact here is you need to understand this concept is the new richest, most powerful people in the world think about who they are and what they do. You know why Tesla is so big and so popular and growing so fast? Yes, they have a cool car. But you know how people, when Tesla people drives, when we meet, we're like buddies. There is a community of Teslas. And you'll find that people drive motorcycles. I don't know if you've ever had one. I had one for years. And I remember, and they shake hands as we cross each other, right? So it's networks and the relationship between these networks. This is how your net worth will work. People need to see that you care and that you have their best interest at heart.
Yeah, when you sell an idea or you bring value to people, you get commitment from people to at least have a look at, you know, what you're up to. But when you sell a product, all you're getting is cash, you know, a quick payment. And so it's important to understand that we are in a relationship business. Fostering those relationships are absolutely critical if you want to build a network. Network is building a networking. Network marketing is the company. Marketing is Max. That's what it is. Networking is building your relationships, your brand, and fostering those. And marketing is selling the product, selling the concept of the business model. So it's two different things brought to one, and people just, they hear the word network marketing and they really don't understand it. They don't understand how this really works. And it's time to think outside of the box. You know, so many people are really sitting back and watching and people around you, especially the ones that have already been approached by you, they're watching you. They're gonna see how long you're gonna last with all this stuff. You know, I'm the type of person, I like to be challenged. So I'm the type of person who's gonna show them that it's gonna work. And that's the mindset that I have, because I know that I'm successful in this business. I knew it before I even was. So when you have that posture and that mindset and that vision, then the sky is the limit. I mean, you can accomplish anything. So don't be that person that's just sitting in that bowl, living in fear, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to give for value. Find a way. There's lots of resources around, so don't make excuses, because every single one of you have what it takes to do this business. You got to make that decision yourself, whether you're going to, you know, jump out of that group that's just sitting there watching everybody achieve, and you have to make that decision that you're going to get out of the box, get out of the bowl, the fish bowl, and really thrive with this business. So, you know, it's really good to have assignments lined up, because assignments create accountability and it helps you grow and it helps you develop a stronger posture. and building your business. So invitations, always inviting, put numbers down. What's your commitment on a daily basis? What's your commitment on the days that you're building your max business? Because you might not be building this business every day, but I always say do max while you do life, because everywhere you go, there's people. Okay, so social media, no excuse if you're sitting in your office, because there's an abundance of people, abundance. Okay, so don't make excuses. Number two is to fill in your report and always be accountable to somebody, because if you write this down, tomorrow's going to go by, you're going to get busy doing a lot of stuff that you say that you won't do, that you're going to stay focused, and you get distracted. And if there's no accountability, whatever, it's just another day, right? So the key is to have that accountability, that support that's going to kick your butt. Find the ones that are going to kick your butt from time to time, because we all need our butts kicked. It's not every day you're going to be woo-hoo, max, max, max. You're going to have days that you're going to be like, oh, it's like getting up and doing a workout when you don't want to do it. But once you've done your workout, don't you feel great? Same thing. You put your numbers out there, get your numbers done. You feel great after you do that when you got people evaluating the opportunity. So do those two things, and then speak regularly with your sponsor, your mentor, for support. I know some of you on these on the Facebook Live, you know, you're doing this with or without your mentors. That's when you know you've done a great job as a leader. When your leaders are out there doing it with or without you, that's the kind of leadership that you want to groom. And that's what Chris and I, we spend our time doing, is grooming people that don't need us anymore. So that's what you want to be doing yourself, is to groom yourself first, and so you can groom other people.
You know, like our mentor tell Tammy and I is when they give us assignments, and trust me, if you're like me and you see the word assignment, it says, oh, I get it. I get it. And I mean, I get it. But we're here to give you guidelines. You have to decide.
Yeah.
And what a mentor says to us is, Chris, I'm not going to look, I mean, I'm going to look at your assignment, but I'm not going to remind you of it. It's up to you. It's your life. So the reality is I'm doing them because I made the decision and I spend quite a bit of money for this mentor. I want to get every single penny's worth of that. So the fact is, maybe that's the motivation behind it, because I tend not to be a reader, but you know what I'm realizing? I'm starting to love reading. It's interesting. Eh? So you have to, even if you don't feel like making these calls and talking to these people, you know what? Try it. Get out of that comfort zone and just do one. We say 2 to 5 people, you know, exposure daily. Well, hey, if you happen to do one, well, one a year is better than none. If you understand what I mean. I'm not suggesting that it's enough, but you know what I'm saying, right? Take action and do it. And from there, connect with your sponsor or someone above you, or one of us, Tammy or I, or anybody, and let us kind of give you some feedback, right? So, I mean, there's a time where it was easy for us to attend to everybody's needs. Now it's a different ball game. It's not just an area code anymore, or a country. It's there's a lot of responsibility around, but nevertheless, we make ourselves available. And that's why I make a point every Monday night to do these kind of trainings, so we can connect with you. And as I stated here, is if you have any comments, maybe it's not a question, maybe it's something you'd like to share, feel free to raise your hand or simply write a comment. And if not, that's okay. We'll end on this note. But the fact here is you need to do something. Tammy and I are there, and we're always going to be around. But the reality is, how will that affect you? It's really up to you to decide. So Paul, you rose your hand, so please unmute yourself and go ahead and share.
Yeah, just 2 quick points. I think you can hear me okay.
Yes.
one of the first points is that people talk too much at the beginning about the product and the opportunity. And you brought it up already, so I'm not going to delve into it too much, but just use the tools that are out there. And that is so important. That'll get you away from talking too much. Because I hear so many people say, well, I talked to this person, I talked to that person, and my yellow flag goes up and says, wow, what did you say? Because you could talk to the person and talk them out of it. So that's important. The other thing is a number of people aren't doing the follow-up, and they get kind of concerned about how they're going to do a follow-up. And I always say, don't hang up the call unless you've got an appointment already made. Never hang up on somebody unless you have a scheduled appointment already made. So you say, hey, look, I'm going to send you some information. I'll send it by WhatsApp or email, whatever you want. And if I send it to you today, when would you have a chance to take a look at it? Well, tonight. Okay, great. So if I call you back tomorrow, you would have looked at it already, right? Yeah. What's a good time for me to call you back tomorrow? So you can always make that appointment before you hang up. So call me back tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern. Great, I'll do that, John. And that's what I do. So now you have an appointment made. It is not hard to do the follow-up as long as you don't hang up before you make that next appointment. That's all I have to add.
That is brilliant, Paul. In fact, this is what I meant. This is what I meant earlier on exactly what Paul was talking about is never leave the call with an awkward ending that doesn't give you any sense of direction. You need clarity. And Paul, you kind of re-edify that. Is there anybody else here in the group that would like to share? And again, it's okay if we on this note. I don't want to feel under pressure. I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to voice their comments or feedback. And by the way, Maripol, thank you for answering Jean-Patrick's question there. I really appreciate that. People like you and some of you are taking the lead and jumping into answering the question. And I also wanted to recognize Luz from Puerto Rico. She is constantly attending these events. And I know you have to jump into another call. I think you start at 9. So I want to thank you for that and commend you, Luz, for your commitment. And also all of you here. I really, really appreciate all of your commitment. And we really, really do. Tammy, don't take this lightly. We really, really appreciate you more than you know. And thank you for always being there. And that's the reason why we really want you to succeed at this. And then again, success is really up to you. We don't want to force anything upon you. We just want to tell you what we believe we have done. Let me rephrase that. It's not that we believe. This is what we have done that got us to where we are. And network marketing, it's not an ugly beast as some people may feel. It is actually a way of life that frees the common man and women to be able to, or common women and men, to be able to live a better quality of life. I'm telling you. And there are forces out there that really don't believe in it because it provides the freedom to the average people like you and I. And there's a force out there that are forcing people to become submissive and in line and to follow the rules. And I'm not saying not to follow the rules. This is not what I mean at all. It's to be able to think outside the box so you can live a good quality of life and not do what everybody else's does. And that's what network marketing is. I truly believe that we are providing our contribution to the world by educating people about how you can free yourself from the environment that keeps you prisoner, that are often not enough for the average folks like you and I, which Tammy and I used to be there. This is why I'm so passionate. And I truly believe that every time we speak to someone who has a genuine interest to want to learn about this, it's a privilege. And we hope that you follow the guidelines and you take action on these things based on your desire.
And just one more quick thing, Chris, because often people get stuck with this. Everybody know what this is? This structure? A lot of people get stuck with that, and that's what they think network marketing is. But this is the traditional concept of the government, the CEO, the person on the top makes the money, and all the people at the bottom are the janitors. They'll never have the CEO's job, right? In this format. But what they need to understand, network marketing is all these little CEOs that are each have their own organizations within an organization, and each one of them are building as a CEO. That's what network marketing is. It helps people take control out of their own lives and to build a network. And the moment you sign somebody up, they're the CEO of their own business. It's up to them what they want to do with this. And same thing, CEO. And people at the bottom can certainly do better than somebody who's above them. No question. We see it all the time in our organization. There's lots of people that came in at the beginning that are not making the money. And there's lots of people that are here that are doing really well. So you need to be able to explain that to people. They need to understand that concept.
And Jasmine, I'll pass you the line, la parole. The word's not coming in English.
The mic.
The mic in a moment. But I just kind of wanted to share with you that we're working on something with the help of the Ghana leadership, and we're coming with something absolutely amazing. So I just want to give you a quick overview of what's coming. And in line to what Tammy was saying, people are so afraid of the pyramid approach. And we're changing this in a way that will really help people get a better understanding of what's going on. So I'm going very fast here, folks, because we're not ready yet. So I'm not even supposed to share that with you, but I just couldn't resist the temptation. So you understand that, you know, I want you guys.
Professional, and Dr. Bright, he did a great job putting it together. Now it's just a matter of bringing the team together.
Yeah. And the team has contributed with this also. If you happen to be listening, it's a contribution with team effort. And so I just want to give you a heads up on some of the things that we're working. And as soon as we get some clarity for this presentation, then we'll bring it here in Canada. We'll have your feedback and everything else. And then we'll wrap this up, and we're going to be updating our presentation format very soon. You're obviously welcome to keep using what you're using for a period of time until you're comfortable to transition. But Jasmine, please go ahead, and we'll finish with you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thanks. And I just want to say, there you are again, Chris, just oozing with your passion, just like you do with new prospects, you are with us. So that's fabulous. One of the things that I just wanted to add, Tammy said something that I wrote down. And just as Paul was talking about how the follow-up is so important, I will sometimes meet people and I will send them the information. And when I send the videos, I will write in my email to them, and I'll call you in whatever, such and such a date. So if you have any questions, I didn't realize what Tammy said. You're going to have questions. Instead of she made it, she was so sure that they were going to have questions, and then you actually are planting a seed in their mind. So when you say to them, you're going to have questions, they start thinking of the questions, they're ready for the three-way call, they actually welcome it. So those words are so much more assertive and definitive than if you have questions. The thing is, like you said, Tammy, you're going to have questions. I just love that you presented it that way. So I just wanted everyone to be real, to make a mental note. They're going to have questions.
And it's true. They do have questions. So, yeah.
So easy. It's so easy that way, for sure.
Thank you, Jasmine. This is great contribution. Thank you, Paul. And again, folks, we encourage you to participate as we move forward, and don't be uncomfortable or shy to share, because you may have something that you're thinking about that can really contribute, that can actually make a difference in someone's life. Based on your point of view. So please don't hold yourself back if you feel there's something. But now we're at the top of the hour, 5 minutes past. So we want to thank you for attending this evening. The call has been recorded through Facebook Live. I will gather the presentation from there. It'll be uploaded on the YouTube channel. And again, it is uploaded on the activeteamtraining.com. And don't forget to make sure that you that's not the word enroll. What's the word, Tammy, that we use for YouTube, connecting with YouTube? Engage. No, there's a click like. There's a word for it. Subscribe. There we go. That was so complicated. I couldn't think of the word. So don't forget to subscribe, folks, because what the reason why I really like this YouTube system is the moment we upload a file there, you get immediately notified by email. You probably noticed on Facebook, if you happen to be part of a group, something is posted, you get an email notifying you that something has been posting, or Messenger, same thing, get an email if something has been posted. This is very, very powerful. And the more you duplicate that within your organization, the faster your team will be able to view a video. Even if they wouldn't be able to make it, if you tell them go to Active Team and listen to it, they won't go. They just won't go. But if it happens to be in their inbox and you just need to click on it while they're waiting for their kid for something, their children, or they're happy to be somewhere and they're just waiting or whatever, they may just click on it and listen to it and get the benefit of this particular training. So I really, really encourage to make sure that your team subscribe to your Active Team Training channel. Okay, everybody, have yourself a wonderful evening. And we look forward. By the way, I did confirm with Jason. I was trying to get him from tonight, but he just responded to me this morning that he would be okay for tonight. So unfortunately, I can't plan that way. So I said next Monday will be wonderful. I'm having a session with him on Wednesday to discuss the basics. But here's what I'd like to ask you, actually, what I'm thinking about this. If there's any comments or questions, okay, that you need for him to answer, try not to get into too many kind of this is not working, that's not working. Like I'm talking about things that you're trying to understand or things you don't know how to access based on what used to be in the old back office. Send these comments, either post it into this YouTube channel once I upload this video, or WhatsApp, or the Facebook Messenger group that we have for the North American team here, post it in there. And then from there, I will gather this information. I will pass it to Jason to make sure that it's incorporated in his talk, okay? So everybody have yourself a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.